Alright, my name is Jake Kirian, and I, along with the opposition, firmly believe that offshore drilling is not good for America. I would like to first start off by refuting some of my opponent's points. They stated, again and again, that oil drilling offshore is good for the U.S. economy. But tell me, is the economy improved when gas prices skyrocket? Is the economy improved when fishing and tourism off of our coasts are killed by gigantic oil spills? And is the economy improved when companies invest up to $100 million into one rig, a fourth of which are not used? When we invest millions of dollars into rigs that are, the EPA is my source, when we invest millions of dollars into oil rigs that aren't even used, when does the economy benefit? And they have stated also, again and again, that we need to decrease our dependency on foreign oil. Sadly, however, this is not a possibility. They stated that we only use 11% of the oil that the U.S. uses is American, meaning that 89% of the oil that we use is foreign. Now, are you telling me that we can compensate for 89% of our oil with a measly 3.5 billion gallons? You do realize that the oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico releases over 210,000 gallons of oil per day, meaning that 3.5 billion is barely enough to fuel our country for 6 months. I don't think that we can decrease the dependency of 89% off of 3.5 billion gallons of oil. That's an extremely small amount. And oil drilling off of our coasts has been banned for good reasons. It was banned by Congress under the Bush Sr. administration in 1989 because of the reaction that we were getting from environmentalists and because of the sheer impracticality of using oil drilling off of our coasts. It is an expensive, inefficient way of gathering energy, and what's worse is that it is extremely detrimental to our environment. We have seen the death of millions of sea life and birds off of our coasts and in our oceans because of disastrous oil spills like the one in Louisiana. Yes?
No, when we said it, when the 10.5 was mentioned, it's that because your first speaker said that we should be looking into renewable energy. We said that 10.5 of the world's energy came from renewable energy.
Yes, and 100 years ago, almost 0% of the world's energy was oil. So I think we can state that this is a step towards the future, a cleaner, brighter future for our country when we embrace green energy. And countries like Germany are almost entirely many of their housing is almost entirely fueled off of wind energy. Sweden is even developing technology that harnesses body heat emitted in public in order to fuel public buildings. There is absolutely no excuse for the U.S. to not be embracing this kind of technology that other less rich countries are already embracing. I would also like to talk about some of the more detrimental effects of oil drilling off of our coast. Now, it has already been brought up, the environmental effect, but I would like to expand off of that. Hundreds of species of birds that are domestic to our country are being killed, and their migration patterns disrupted because of this oil spill. 5,000 square miles of U.S. ocean has been encompassed by this oil spill, and it is less than 20 miles off of the coast of Louisiana. Our country's coastline is about to be destroyed by this oil spill, and this is all because the U.S. trusted for a moment that we could rely on these oil companies to responsibly drill in our oceans. Now, the U.S. receives 89% of its oil from foreign countries, and almost all of these countries, 7 out of 10, use oil from on-land drilling. Canada and Saudi Arabia being the main countries that we receive our oil from. They use on-land drilling. So we have a semi-readily supplied group of on-land oil drills at our disposal. However, there is only enough oil left in the world to fuel America for another 25 years. Now, I don't think that that means that we can waste any time. We only have the EPA, again, also the Foundation for Cleaner and Better Energy. We have very little time left over to make the conversion to green energy, but we are ready. We can make the conversion to green energy very soon. Honda says that its 100% hydrogen-fueled car will be on the market in less than 10 years. And seeing as we only have 25 years of oil readily available to the United States and even less available to the rest of the world, I think that it is dire that we make this conversion quickly, possibly, and effectively. Also, one last point about the carbon emissions that are caused by the dependency on oil. we release millions of tons of CO2 per year, and there are actually cities in the U.S. that are no longer habitable because of the emissions. And if the proposition says that we should increase oil drilling off the coast because it'll increase oil use, that is exactly why our team has won this debate, because that is absurd.